Hi there, Glocal Citizens. Welcome back to the podcast that inspires a borderless mindset around manifesting a new world. I am your host, Florence Adu, and this week we have part 2 of my conversation with Robertson Ahomka-Lindsay. Robertson is an architect, artist, designer, photographer, and all-around multifaceted creative. And in this episode, we continue our conversation talking about the extent of his crafts, particularly in art and architecture, as well as what it's like to build a business as a returnee in Ghana. So let's pick up the conversation right there with some of the things that we all kind of have to think about as we determine our new selves in our new locals.
What's the true heart of a Ghanaian? Maybe that's another podcast.
Well, I mean, it's so interesting because we are in crisis, right? So we have a currency that is very low ranked. I think it's second to last in the world, which is amazing. And I don't know if the average Ghanaian is really asking themselves why. Because if they were to reflect on the who's that we've become, they would understand why.
Sure.
Because there's a pervasive, like you said, who's genuine or not, there's a pervasive dishonesty that is a layer around. So there's a mistrust, by government, because of XYZ. There's a mistrust in the system and there's a mistrust in people that has a one-upness. That is what really is the spirit of Ghana. So I wonder, and I wonder, but I don't wonder, because I know the solution is to change the minds of children. Like, that's hands down what it is. I think that where we are with adults is where we are with adults, but I definitely see that children can be molded and minded in a way that their minds are gold mines, as opposed to these robotic systems that keep parroting the same system that has been for time immemorial. So yeah.
I would agree there with it's the younger generation. I said the younger, really triggering that up and coming.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest hurdle, and I'm not one against social media, but I can understand now we're in a world where access to worldwide media is prolific, and they were good and bad. And the amount of time with our phones now where people literally get fed.
Yes.
And there's certain platforms, and you question when you see it's not constructive things you see on certain platforms.
Right.
But yet the matrices are different here in other countries. Other countries you see the same platform, but there's something constructive that's coming out. And you've got to understand, so what's the agenda here?
Right.
So
if
that's affecting, or that is affecting the younger generation coming up.
That's a big
It's scary. It is really scary because I suppose the older generations of ourselves, there's certain things that we see and still a lot to be done. So if you're handing it down the mantle to those that are coming up, and then I'm missing out certain words, but it's scary.
It very much is
scary.
And I just want to leave one last nugget, because on the social media side, I was listening to something on social media where someone was pointing out the difference between social media for children in China versus social media for children abroad. And so they are the same. I think it's TikTok. They are providing science, inspirational, they're inspiring astronauts.
Yes.
And we're inspiring influencers.
Yes.
So where are we going to be?
That's exactly the one that I had seen. I didn't want to mention the platform, but that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And it's not by coincidence. It's
all.
by design.
It is, and so it makes you wonder: do we need? Well, I think democracy is broken, honestly, but do we need that kind of authoritarian structure to really be effective? I think it's definitely our time to start thinking differently about governance.
Sure.
Particularly where you have a challenge with literacy and you have the kinds of economic divides that we have. Because even to the extent that you're saying, what they're saying on social media, the masses actually don't have access to social media, but they're listening to people who do. And so that's a whole other thing, because it's the evangelist of the I don't even want to say what they are, but they're the unskilled evangelists that are now influencing people's decisions on their entire lives. So
it's scary, and a lot of the influences that you see, it's hard to try to keep up with a make-believe life that you see.
Right. That's it.
You're never going to live to that.
That's it.
That's
it. Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I think as a mantle, I mean, even during my kind of growth, I think I've been fortunate or unfortunate. I remember the time when the telephone wires were cut. I remember before, when these didn't exist.
Right.
But we still meet people, at the same time. I said, okay, 2 weeks time, I'll meet you here.
Exactly.
If I'm not there, just come the next week. Or things will still move on. But now it's like you can't even got 5 minutes for yourself. You can't even, go to the loo without your
phone. I know, right? Some kind of entertainment, some kind of distraction.
All the time. I mean, technology is fantastic and so forth, but I think we've got to be mindful of really where it's taken us.
Yeah.
Certain things are definitely quicker. I think generations' knowledge of certain things are done also, quicker. There's the youth, some of them are amazing in terms of what they can actually do and understand. Yeah. But also the distractions a lot. I mean, the attention span now, if you look, if you have 5 seconds or so forth now on the internet, move on and And I've seen some younger people literally how they scroll through their phones and it's
they're not reading.
No, it's like a robot.
Exactly. But let's drill down just a little bit more on the local, and let me ask you about your Glocal speak. So we want to hear what you hear. So being back here or in the streets of the UK, London, we want to know a word, a phrase, or a saying that is a meaningful part of your local experience and why or how you came to value it as a colloquial speak.
Okay. Apart from Ghanaian hot. Before
it's true. And that's you said that in China Fanti.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I must admit, yes, I have a lot of Ashanti friends that will speak.
Yes. So you speak both Chi and Fanti.
Yeah. Although sometimes I mix it.
You make a Fanti or Chi Fanti.
Chi Fanti, yes. And I've been told because of my Bofo accent,
okay.
But so I've got to say the other thing. When you ask people how you doing, so we are managing.
Yes.
I think that's what we are managing. Everyone in Ghana is a manager.
Yes, it's true.
So that means that we are hustling.
Exactly.
That relates to what's going on. Like, I mean, even with the current state, sometimes I get some fruit juice, which is, I can say it's serious, which is like a fruit juice. I always remember it being 9 cedis or whatever it was.
Sure.
Now it's like 30 cedis.
Right.
And that's just one. There's other examples of food, and it's just like, how did it be so much? Even the chocolate. I went bought the chocolate.
The Ghana chocolate. The Ghana chocolate.
A small one. I remember I used to buy 5 cedis, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like 15 cedis.
What? Wow. 15. And that's local.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I was like,
the cocoa is from Ghana.
Yes.
Everything is from Ghana.
Yes.
And it's 15 cities. Wow.
So
that's the equivalent of maybe a month ago $1 when it used to be, and this is a small bar that's like anyway. All that to say, we're managing.
Yeah, we're managing
somehow, some way. Okay, so let's get into. So you've moved here. You've been an architect. You think about the built environment.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about the way of being in business here. So you came. You had a soft landing.
Yeah.
You're no longer working with but you are now a startup.
Yes.
So tell us about that experience. Like what is your day to day? How are you building your team? How are you going for projects? What's your vision? That kind of thing.
And what's interesting, I mean, again, I suppose it's similar. It's just building your network.
Okay.
So since also working on a previous project, as you mentioned, I've still keep in touch with a lot of those people that I've met.
Sure.
I've had some sites that I've sort of come across. One of which is also the one which we just over there.
Okay.
One of the things I would say, definitely in terms of business, understanding the terrain is quite different from the UK or wherever. I mean, it would be, but I think you really need to be more open to other sources of income. You've got to have different revenue streams. So, which is also why I was also looking at in terms of there's the conventional architectural practice.
Yeah.
In terms of model, etc. But understanding where people put value also in that. I've also, in terms of copywriting and design, as people do designs, which is why I'm also looking within the model of Vivarco, which is a multi-faceted studio. So there is photography, so that's something I know people do like to take a lot of pictures and images. So that's also a short way.
Particularly in different corporate settings as well. So it's not just the weddings, funerals, that kind of thing, but actual corporate photography.
Yes. So I've been sort of using that, and also in terms of drone surveying.
Yes.
There's content management as well, in terms of what you see, but also in terms of sort of in central region, larger plots of land, happy to see what's on there. And in terms of the architectural designs, design and build. So there's a few things that I'm sort of developing now in terms of sort of schemes and so forth, which will be turning around. So in terms of estate management. So it's also understanding the revenue. So there's the short term, every day, what feeds us.
Right.
What we are managing with, I use that local term.
Exactly.
But also there's the long term. So you can understand that, okay, for example, seeing the infrastructure, we've seen the open gutters. How many potholes we see, I'm just count, right? But knowing that there is solutions, but we know solutions, there's the funding and also there's also mindset, because certain things are not happening because either someone's even making more money about, or people don't understand. So there's a way of re-education, and that will take some time. And in Ghana, I think people will go with what they see, and when they see things happening, that's what they want to replicate. So visuals, I've noticed that I'm having to show, physically or in terms of, say, notionally architecture drawings, most people, average person, not necessarily can read it, but if you show 3D renders and visualizations and what that's when they understand. So moving on with that. And in terms of the initial discussions with certain clients, there's some things that can work very quickly. It's you can say casually, I need this done, I need a house, etc. And they can turn around quite quick, but at the same time it can be very slow. So it's just understanding that sometimes your next door can be someone's literally phone call, and it's like, okay, let's go. For some people will talk to you, I say talk in a manner it's like, a long conversation. When is this land? Is this something actually landing or
right. Just thinking aloud.
It's like okay, and then it's like okay. And then lots of conversations. Let's go on a joint venture. Johnny,
no.
So understanding, people. Some people are very quick, also, and also understanding, especially when you come with the UK or the different slang. And for me, anyway, it's like I've noticed in Ghana, any kind of accent that you have that sounds Western, automatically it's American.
Yeah, it's true. Well, it's so funny because people are often asking me, "Oh, you're from UK?" And I'm like, I don't sound English at all.
Really? It's interesting because I get sometimes, "Oh, are you from America?" And I say, "No, I speak the proper Queen's English." Maybe it's the twang.
Something like that.
But one of the things that although the terrain is different, we do get, there are things that frustrate in terms of times, etc. However, there is still a lot of opportunity because the market is not saturated, unlike in the UK for certain things in the West. So back earlier on in this interview, when I was saying in terms of why is this not happening? When the why, you can actually see that's usually an opportunity to fill. It's like, okay, if I can do, there's a need here, there's a need over here. But you would test that, some of the needs you would understand that, people prefer not to be that efficient. That's how I think.
Exactly.
Right. Look at, I'll say ECG, look, there's a time where That's one thing. You couldn't even get electricity.
You couldn't even get a meter?
Yeah, because because the meterage system. So if you got prepaid, the whole network was jammed. It stopped working.
Right.
Or purposely, right? So some people say that should be a time. That should be you should know that saying that even if you have money, you cannot necessarily get power.
Yes, it's true. Particularly in these parts.
And it was, and when they're doing, they don't tell you what's going on, and then if you try to go to the offices, ticketing system, it's just sitting on a chair, and you hustle up and spend hours there.
Yeah.
And that's not just you go to your banks, you think in and out.
No, it's a lot. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's a good point. I think that what is great about being, the African mindset in a lot of ways is that we can be so creative.
Yeah.
It would just be nice for it to be creatively productive in a different way, in a less personal gain kind of way in a lot of senses.
Sure. Because I find there's two things. Either it's like you may meet maybe an artisan or someone's providing a service.
Yeah.
So there's two things. Either at first they'll be excellent at what they do. So that you get comfortable. Oh, this guy's okay. Next time then you find something will happen somehow, or then the excuses come in. Or upfront, they hear the accent, you're going at least 200-300%. I said, Charlie, just because you hear the accent or
yes.
I know this is 2 CDs, you're trying to charge me 20. Maybe I can pay, but that's not necessarily mean that I should.
Right, exactly.
And for me, to be honest, there's times I pretend I don't understand Geo of anti-craft. So I just keep quiet. And you hear everything. So I just keep quiet. So they say everything. And again, I say a little bit. They say, hey!
That's the best. And they get shocked. Yeah. Economy acts.
It's true. And also when people sort of call you something when they first see you, it's like, hey, director as one thing. I mean, something's coming at a certain price.
Yeah.
Hey, chairman. Hey, honorable.
Right.
It's
those ego strokes.
Yes. And
or implied ones.
And that's one of the things. Yes, I think the amount of hot air someone can give you. You just float and you're floating. When they're cold, ready to land, that's dropped.
Indeed. Yeah. So, but it sounds like you're on your way. Like you really are coming with the mindset that will allow you to stay.
Yes.
And not go as often. I've gotten to that point myself. I used to run like every 8 weeks.
Need to
and but then COVID happened, and I really counted my blessings that I was here. Actually, I was very just even to have a house with a garden.
Yes,
was enough.
Oh, okay.
Compared to my friends who were. I mean, winter's never my favorite season, but they were like the lockdown was a totally different thing, and I see it in the mindsets, and I'm seeing it in the people who are coming and all that. So I mean, I'm always very mindful of the blessings, and so I'm tolerating more and being more patient, and I think you two are seeing how starting to creep into your stuff.
But I must admit, because I think I said I've been going and coming for a while.
Yeah.
So I kind of had gone through the cultural clash, as it were. And also, I think my father, I always return to my father because some of the times, some of the things he showed me, there's a term I say, in Ghana, something you need to understand where you can literally swim with sharks. At some point, someone is going to bite. But you know what is inspiring them, and what is kind of keeping them at bay.
Sure.
And you can kind of see it. It's like it's the same mentality in Ghana. You can literally like negotiations. Charlie, someone's asking for 5 million. So Charlie, I haven't got 5 million, but this is 2 million cash. You just put it down and they see it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. The arts of negotiation.
Yeah, so it's like, it's what I can get now.
Right.
I think that's another conversation about 419 or so forth. But I find Ghana is, I think it's universal here because someone just has to do their job, something small, and then you get. For example, what I normally do, even if I go to a shop, I kind of test how they are, where their heart is. I'll look at some things, just get a few things. I have an understanding how much it is, and I negotiate for the price.
Yeah.
If the guy's, kind of taking a mickey, pushing, I go next door, and then and I get more. It happened to me in Cape Coast. It was just, you see some band. I was just getting some additional. I'm just showing you some
beads.
Wrist. Went into one shop and I was negotiating. The guy, I basically was having a few more on the top of the beads than should be. And there was his nephew first got me into the shop. He said, all right, this, that. So, okay, negotiated the guy. And then I went out to the shop next door because the guys were showing more, I should have more integrity spirit. They offered me like, oh, we can do this for free, or we can we'll offer you one bangle or some, basically doing some, you get these bangles where they can knit like with cloth and it says your name.
Okay.
Can't remember the term at the moment. So then I went next door and then I saw other things there. I started buying more and I still negotiating from there. The guy from the shop next door
comes back.
And goes, oh, Johnny, I know it's my uncle said this, can you give me some? I said, as I'm negotiating there, you're there keeping quiet. So the thing that you're going to get, why didn't you negotiate?
Exactly. Exactly.
Sometimes people know how to block their blessings. Yeah.
Right.
Really do. And it's like, that's one example. It's the same like, cab drivers, Uber drivers. So I drive now, I have my own car, so forth. One of the things that's so frustrating, especially taxis, they give you, I said, Charlie, and some of them take some long route. I said, why are you taking this route? You got to try to go around the shortcut. You're wasting your petrol.
Exactly, because you're not going to get more. Because I know. Oh yes, I know.
Oh, they hit the accident. And then they have sometimes like that. They say, I thought that you giving me dollars and sterling. I said,
why? Right.
I don't know.
Well, this is a good good point to talk about mindset. A mindset hack. What is your favorite or an innovative or one that you practice mindset hack?
For me, I think I like getting up really early.
What's really early? 4?
Like 4, between 4 and 6. In the UK, we used to call it the graveyard shift. But I don't know. But there's a certain time I find spiritually, it's where I kind of meditate while I'm speaking. But it's like quite as if the whole Ghana hasn't got up yet. Although Ghana, most people get up early, but there's a certain.
But it's the quiet.
There's
before the noise starts on the road.
Vibration. So I think that getting up early, going through your meditations, understanding how the day would be, or kind of, I would say, I believe in speaking words.
Yeah.
And also any aspects that you think will stop what has happened in the past. Just speak out loud, that's broken, that's not going to happen again, and so forth. And I find that before the buzz or the confusion, everything happens. For me, it's to find a quiet moment. That's 4 in the morning. But at the same time, other parts of the day, you need to find your quiet in the busy. So I think there's the quiet in the moment, so you can still understand what that feels like, or that moment, or that exchange. But replicate it, because at the same time, it's like on a battlefield, you've got to find your own peace in order to function. And sometimes get out of a crowd when you can. It's not like
But the quiet morning, that's a good one.
Quiet morning.
But so would you say you're a morning person, or?
Yeah, I'm very much a morning person.
Okay, so you do sleep early then?
Relatively, although sometimes I do burn the candle on ends. Sometimes I don't know how I do it. But, but I find sometimes, I normally, when I get up, I don't use an alarm clock. I just get up a body clock, which is, I've been doing that since as a child, actually. It's interesting. So sometimes you can wake up bang on the dot.
Yeah, that's nice. So what is that time, typically?
It's sometimes it's usually 4. At the moment, I've been waking up 5.
Yeah, so my clock, it's interesting, when I first got back from the US, it was, or not when I first, it was for a while it was 4:42, and then when the clocks changed, it was 5:42. So
yes.
that's
yes,
interesting.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's fine.
right. Yeah.
That's
So
true, daytime.
that whole and I think particularly because doing both sides, that would be the other reason. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, but I definitely am. I have a time when and it's like 5:42.
Yes, I always kind of get up. Interesting. I remember my wife. She has an alarm which is kind of later, and something like, the alarm is going. This is for you.
Right.
Yeah. And I've always liked that time. Over, I used to stay in the UK.
Sure. I don't mind it here. I do mind it in the cold.
Okay.
It's just for some reason, like I don't want to start moving in the cold. Here it's fine. I'll start moving. I'll mill. Do like you said, do that quiet mindset stuff. But but I know that there, I will not get out of bed at that time. Part of it is in my flat, the heat comes on at I think 5:30.
Okay.
So it's just whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So get up early, folks. That's a great mindset hack.
Early bird catches the worm.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so let's talk about, we kind of talked about your life outside of the business and the work, but I always like to ask some questions about who you are when you're not in the business side of things. So are you a reader, are you a watcher, or are you a listener? And what are some of your favorite reads, watches, or listens?
That's a good question. I think I used to be more of a reader, but in terms of time. However, there's some interesting books that I've got to find the name of that, but it's actually, I've just got it downstairs. I found some of the books since I've been here, picked up. There's one of which has been kind of a collection of letters. It's called Letter to My Ancestors. And there's 2 volumes of it, but it's interesting because it's like he's describing, or you got letters describing like you would speak if you're speaking to your ancestors about how things are and how perceptions of things, even relating to spirituality and how things are done and so forth. So it's kind of like that sort of letter. And the value that I've seen in that is like, in a way, very much I see part of myself here, and it's kind of like a restoration time, because I know there's kind of traditional things we also do, and there's youth being on this soil, I can understand. I know, so Ghana is very small. Amount of times I've bumped into people who are actually my cousins, or I've never seen before, or second cousins, or what are you doing here? I'm going to this is my uncle's funeral. Oh, but he's my uncle too. Oh, Janet.
Wow, right.
Yeah. I know we heard stories where it's a bit something else.
Right.
So, looking after there's another book, Fear No Man again.
Fear No Man.
That's, for me, if I'm going to watch something that's specific for time.
Right.
Or
the create. Got it.
Or media, something I'll watch, but then I kind of cut. I try to go on more media purges, and then I would choose what platforms to look and get information, because I find if you're looking at certain things all the time, sometimes you won't even walk out of the house.
Yeah, it's true.
Funny enough, or not funny enough, with the time of lockdown in the UK when COVID hit, I remember the earlier times where literally it's like, don't come out of the house. And there's certain lists that you would be on if you were more vulnerable for certain health-wise. And because I had some conditions and some things I'd gone through, I was kind of on the more vulnerable list.
Yeah.
And they used to send letters from the local GP, don't do this, don't come out. And literally it's like, I can't open the door, right?
I know,
right? Surely not, this can't be it.
Yeah.
Now, especially with the news, time is more sensationalized. Things are sort of repeated, and you hear certain sort of, music, and it just gets you anxious, literally look around thinking what's going on. It's interesting because it's happened to like my younger sister in the UK, and even my mom. She's watching. I saw this on TV. I saw this. Joe, please.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah. I don't watch the news. Like I go to I get news, but I don't have a TV. Well, I don't watch a TV. I listen to the news on radio, online, but when I encounter like the ongoing CNN or Al Jazeera or any of those things, it just really is like my brain, or BBC, whatever, just my brain just gets somehow, I think it's a stress response to some extent.
It's definitely, it's like it gets you into that fight or flight mood.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's a lot of it is stories by design. So yeah. So what are your creative outlets? So you read, that's some stimulation. What are some of the things?
Right? I mean,
we know we are creative, so
I play keyboards.
Yeah.
Bass guitar as well. So
So you studied these things, or are you self-taught to some extent?
Self-taught on some and studying some. I mean, I say yes and no. I remember I started learning keyboards at the age of 6 or 7.
Okay.
Stopped for a little while and came again. Then I was kind of creating my own pieces and composing and so forth. And I always used to have a knack for picking. I can pick up most instruments, so I can get quite a few bits out of that. I used to play. Was it quarter trumpet?
I played the trumpet. Yeah, that was my instrument.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I did piano lessons for a bit. I mean, I can read piano music, I guess, but I played the trumpet. Yeah.
Oh, that's great instrument. And bass guitar is something that I picked up relatively later, and I took on a course of that over in London. But what I loved about the bass, it's the foundation, you know. You can control harmonies and so forth, and also in terms of theory, it kind of goes to connect to me. And I guess even when I was playing piano, I had the ear for the bass lines. I find it perfect for that. So now, and also the guitar, and it's such it just brings such joy, I would say, in my life. And I can say that because I remember up until recently, the previous practice I had time-wise, kind of different, but I kind of cleared my schedule a bit. So certain things I do, like in the mornings, I try to at least, as part of my meditation, play keys or bass guitar. But I can see what it's done in my life, actually, you know. And it's
what has it done?
No, there's a balance. There's a balance, and there's an equilibrium. So I can't say that now.
Yeah.
And joy, you see. So it's funny, you see like pictures of people playing music, funny jazz guys making funny faces when they're playing.
Sure.
There's something that it just touches your neuron, and the feel when you find these and that surprises you. You're like, oh wow, and it just feels your soul.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it.
It's like I'm just puts a smile on my face.
So you're a player. You're not a reader, watcher, listener. You're a reader, but you're a player. I like it.
Yeah, as in a good sense.
Right. Exactly. Robertson, this has been so much fun. Chatting, we could talk forever, but I know you have things, I have things, and I want to wish you another happy belated birthday.
Oh, I thank you.
Yes, thank you for making time.
So
as we sign off, do you have any last words that you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah, a little term I used to say, aim for the moon, for even if you miss, you'll be among the stars.
Amen. Yeah. I love it. Yes, star people. So this has been another episode of the podcast. You can reach us each and every Tuesday with new episodes at glocalcitizenspod.com or wherever you get your podcasts. That's Apple, Google, Amazon, Spotify, Mixcloud. You get the drift. Like, share, write us a review. It helps people find good content online. Check out the show notes. We'll have good notes on, and maybe we will have a little bit of snippets of works. We'll see. But until next time, bye for now.